Hello, I'm Dragoș, and in this video we're going to take a look at the new model from Qwen 3.5. They released 4 models, the 0.8 and 2 billion parameters, the 4 billion parameters, and the 9 billion parameters, and this one is the biggest one released, and it is surpassing the one from GPT OSS 120 billion parameter, which is very impressive. We're going to see how they are working on a Mac M4 Pro Mini with 24 gigabytes of RAM, because this should be able to work with this model quite good, and we're going to see what are the best options to run this on your Mac Pro M4. And if you are going to check their benchmark in here, you can see that, for instance, this one with this color that it's darker, it is the one that it has 9 billion parameters. Then the one with 4, it's just behind it, and I'm going to run the 4 billion to do a coding test, and you see in here that across the benchmark it is doing pretty well. It has very good benchmarks, and the 4 billion one, it's close to the 9 billion one. And the good part of this is the fact that it is with a context of 260k, and yeah, the benchmarks are looking pretty good. And to run this model on a Mac Mini, the recommendation is to use LM Studio. LM Studio is offering you the possibility to also run MLX variants of this. MLX basically it's an option developed for Macs, which is better than the other option, which is the GGFU one, which is for NVIDIA and other hardware. That's why LM Studio, it's a better option, because it is having this MLX that works best with Mac M4 Mini. And in here we have their interface, and if we're going to make this thing bigger, so you see that I've downloaded a couple of models in here, 4, 9, 4, and this is the one with the GGFU. And in here you are going to see that, for instance, you have the quantization for this, and most of them are on 4 bits, which is reduced from 8. And basically what this will do, it will lose 1 to 3% from the smartness, but it will make them run faster on Mac Mini. And I have also one with 8 bits, which is better and should help us. And in here you see that, for instance, this one has also vision, tool calls, and the size of them is not that big. You see that, for instance, the 8 bits with 4 billion parameters, it is about 5 gigabytes, and yeah, the 9 billion, it has 6 gigabytes in size, and about 3 for the one with 4. And in here, if you want to install it, you just will need to install LM Studio, and in LM Studio you have this in here, and in here you have the model search, and in here you can go and search for the models. So in here you see that you have the options to choose between the GGUF and MLX, and GGUF, again, it's not designed for Mac. MLX is the one for Mac, and in here you can choose MLX, and you can search for Qwen. Let's see, Qwen 3.5, and you will find all the models in here. You have also bigger ones with 27 billion parameters, but these are for the ultra models. And if you go down, you will also find the one with 4 bits in here. Right now this one it's downloaded, and here you see it has vision, tool calls, and you have some details about it. And you have from different providers in here the options to choose the models, and again I have already downloaded them. And in here you can see that, for instance, right now I have this, and we're going to just go and chat with them. So we can see how it is doing. So in here, after you download them, you have the options to load them. So for instance, right now I have loaded the one with 8 bits. And if we're going to ask it, let's see, no, it's not the one with 8 bits. This one is the one with 8 bits. You have the options to modify the context size. So I put it in here, and I will ask it to remember this, and I will just load the model. And we are going to see this 8 bits one, how it is doing, because it is a little smarter than the other one. Hi, how are you? In here I just want to show you how it's working and how fast it is, and to see the difference between the other models. And we are going to check also the tokens per second. So right now this one is thinking, and it should provide us the details. And this should work at about 45 tokens per second, which is enough for you most of the things. So it has 36 tokens per second, this one. And yeah, right now you can just chat with it. If you want to use another model, you can go, for instance, and choose for instance, one that has like vision also capability. In here you see that this one is also 4 billion parameters. It is on 4 bits. And again, I'm using the same context length in here, and I will just load the model. And in here, if you see that it has also vision, and if we are going to attach an image, we can ask it what this image is about, like this. And right now he should go and work and should tell us what this image has. And this one is faster because it is on 4 bits, and you will see the difference. Right now it tells us the text and everything, and you see that it has 62 tokens per second, this one, which is pretty good for a 4 billion. And right now if we're going to go and check the 9 billion one, again MLX, in here I will put again the context length to be because the memory it is supporting this. And again, how are you? We can ask him just for you to see how fast these models are on this M4 Pro Mac Mini with 24 gigabytes of RAM. And then we are going to use Zed, and we are going to ask it to build an Astro website for us. I'm doing this test basically with the powerful models, and I'm curious to see what the Qwen 3.5 4 billion parameters will be able to do. I want to use the 4 billion one because it's faster, and I've seen that it can do tool calls quite good. And I will gonna use the 8 bits one because it's a little smarter and it should do tool calls better. And again, this one is thinking. You see that the thinking process is quite fast also on the 24 gigabyte of RAM and M4 Pro. So it is like 37 tokens per second. It's similar with what you were seeing in the 8 bits quantified one. And right now let me load the one like this, load model, and we're going to move to Zed to work. And in here now we'll see that this model is loaded in here, 4 billion MLX, and I have Zed opened in here, and in here I have a prompt that we're going to ask him to do. And in here you can go and choose the models you want. So right now this one is used, the one that has the 4 billion and 8 bits, which is a little slower than the one on 4 bits, but yeah, I want to see the more smart one, how it's doing. So basically here I have an Astro website, and we're going to tell it to just go and build the Astro website for us with header, footer, Tailwind CSS 4 and so on. And I have started this, and we are going to see how fast it is and if he is able to build this website for us. It will take some time for this to be loaded and to do the initial chat. We are going to see how much time it will take for this to finish. Okay, so right now it's thinking and he is going to review the details and he will start building the website for us, hopefully. And this, it's running locally. You will not need an internet connection or anything, so you can start coding with these models. But we're going to see if the website, it will be loaded after, because this, it's not a complex task, but not a small task for the 4 billion model. And yeah, I mean, right now it's doing the tool calls to list everything, but at some point it should go and work. And in here, I see that, for instance, right now I'm also recording, and this is the memory utilization for this, which is almost full. That's why on this 24 gigabyte RAM, if you are going to load the 9 billion one, maybe it will not run that good, because you will need more resources. I hope the video is doing okay. So you see that right now the RAM, it's increasing because it is thinking and it is using tools to read everything. So it will go and create the SVGs for us. I guess this website, it will take some time to be created, because yeah, it's not that fast maybe, but yeah, I mean, in 20 minutes maybe it should finish. So right now you see that it started, created this solar panel SVGs for us, and I see it's creating them in parallel. Okay, so it's creating them. In here you see the line of code that were added and the files. Okay, it created the SVGs. Okay, it's going. On this Mac Mini M4, it's surprisingly that you can have a model that can help you code, and everything it runs 100% local. Imagine if you have like a studio with bigger memory and more GPU. It can be really, really fast. I'm also curious to see how the SVGs will look and what design he's able to do. Also, I want to see if the tool calls will break at some point. Okay, he wants to create more SVGs right now. The thing is, with these models, as much data as you load in the context, as much RAM they will need in the future, and I hope this will handle this Mac M4 Pro Mini with 24 gigabytes of RAM. The other option is to use the 4 bits one that will use less RAM, but it will not be that smart. Right now the coolers on my M4 Pro are spinning like crazy. So yeah, okay. Now in here you see that in Zed you can go and check what it is doing, and you see that right now it created a lot of icons, 10 icons. When this is thinking, it's using the most RAM. So I will let him cook, and I will came back. Okay, SVG are created. Right now it's updating the main layout. I already had a layout in here, but we will let him decide what he wants to do. Right now it's creating the main layout, and it's using props for this. You see in here, which is pretty good. It's doing the SEO thing in here. So yeah, it's going quite fast, as you can see in here. I'm not expecting this model to be as smart as the one from GLM5, for instance, but yeah, I'm impressed that you can use this for coding with this Mac Mini. So it's creating everything in functions. This is how he decided to do. I never seen this in the past. It's not the best Astro.js implementation. I don't know what he's doing. It's creating a lot of body and head things. Head. So it's creating multiple times the same thing. So I think he entered in a loop because it just spins up same thing. I will let him work for another minute because this is not okay. It's seen that it created duplicate code in here, and he removed the file and he started again. So yeah, I will let him do the thing in here. Okay, I guess he's not using the Tailwind CSS. He decided to put everything in CSS, not use the Tailwind. Okay, now he wants to create the header and footer. Okay, it eventually finished. It took about 1 hour and 10 minutes to create a lot of things. In here it created components, about, contact, hero, testimonials, footer, header, SVGs. The thing is that this model didn't create everything properly and didn't function well in Astro, but I wanted to see how the design is, and I asked a more powerful model like Sonnet 4.6 to fix all the issues and let the design the same, so you can see what he was able to do. The Mac Mini crashed at some point because after 1 hour and 10 minutes of work, it overloaded. And yeah, this is the problem with this small hardware and running LLMs models. But right now, all the issues were fixed and was able to create like the index page. And I've started in here. And we're going to check it to see how it's looking. So this is the design that the Qwen 3.5 4 billion parameters did. It's looking nice. It has the header in here. It has some nice icons that he created. And yeah, the design looks nice for a self-hosted model. In here you see the icons, projects, and this it's usable, but it's not for a big project, so you need to think on that. You need to use this Qwen 3.5 self-hosted option with the projects that are not that big, but overall it is a decent model and it can help you code locally. But again, you cannot compare it with the big players out there because it has only 4 or 9 billion parameters. But the interesting fact is the fact that it thinked very well. It didn't have any errors. It created the pages and didn't have any failures in tool calls. So yeah, I mean, this created like 3000 lines of code, SVGs and everything, and it has also a good structure for Astro if you are checking it, because it uses props and things like that, so it is able to plan and create like smaller things. So yeah, this is the Qwen 3.5, and you can try it yourself if you have a powerful enough hardware out there. Drop a comment below with your opinion on this Qwen 3.5 and open source models so everyone can know.